Growing up, my mother would tell us stories about her childhood in Mississippi. They had their own family farm, they raised chickens and hogs, they had a garden that they harvested from, they played in the woods around their home, made mud pies, played in watering holes. So we were very much outside, and camping seemed like a way to get back to that. Of course, we were always made aware of the dangers that she faced. Her family had run-ins with the Klan. It's the reason why they moved, but they were still very much of the land and in nature. Nighttime never frightened us. And if you're a nature nerd like me and a space nerd like me, you know that some of the most amazing things can only be observed at night. Hi, what's up? I'm Zach, and welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. If you're here from the previous video, thanks so much for those of you who watched it and liked it. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll stick with us on the rest of this journey. One of my core memories as a child from one of our camping trips was when we were in Rocky Mountain National Park, and we were camping with some family friends. These were my aunt and uncle. They were close enough that we called them that. And one night, my aunt and I decided to stay up to do some stargazing, just with our naked eyes. We didn't have any, telescopes or anything. In the quietness of the night, we were just staring up at the night sky. And over the course of maybe 2 or 3 minutes, we saw so many shooting stars between us. And so we were just standing there looking up, whispering like, oh my God, did you see that? Whoa, did you see that one? Whoa. That is one of the defining moments of my childhood. And that's one of the moments that I'm always chasing. And for someone who has never been to the outdoors or doesn't understand why camping is a fun activity for a lot of people, this is one of the moments that I point to. This is a instance in which you read about people saying that how they feel small and how they feel like, wow, the world may be shrinking socially and digitally, but then you look up and you're like, oh, we're not that important, like at all. And experiences like these can only happen at night. So when I hear people say, oh, Black people don't do this or Black people don't do that, and I said, we do. In other parts of the world, we do that all the time. And here we did because that was a necessity. Everybody did. We had to live off the land. That's what we did. But I think the necessity of it is why a lot of particularly American Black people don't think that camping is for us. Because we had to do that, and now we don't have to do that anymore. We worked very hard to make sure that we don't have to live outside anymore. We're inside. We can get things now. We can buy things now. Why would you just sleep on the ground for fun? That doesn't make any sense. And I've heard similar stories from other friends that I have. And granted, the people that my parents learned how to camp from for recreational purposes were white. These were white family friends that I had that experience with looking up at the stars. They are the ones who invited my parents to come to these national parks, to come on these camping trips. And then my parents just decided to take it up for themselves and do it. And we would go with these family friends almost all of the time, but we also had our own experiences. But the learning part was really the recreational part, if that makes sense. We weren't out here for fun. We have such bad connotations with things that can happen to us in nature. Nature was something that we had to overcome and get through to get to the city, to get to a place that we were safe. So the woods were more of an obstacle than anything, not something to be stopped and admired. Now, with everything, we are not a monolith. These are my thoughts and ideas. This is not the same for everyone. These are just ideas that I'm kind of having as I've been thinking more and more about this and as we want to get back into camping like we have done previously. So being in the woods at night, not a great place to be, but if you're a nature lover and you love the natural world, you know that some of the coolest things can happen at night, i.e., seeing a lot of stars and shooting stars and just seeing awesome things in the sky. There's something about the sound of a campfire crackling and then dying down, and then the zip of tents and the zip of sleeping bags as everybody is settling in for the night. I have very fond memories of that. The next item that we got on our list of things, if you hear from the previous video, is a sleeping bag, or should I say sleeping bags, because there are two of us. This is the Cabela's Mountain Trapper sleeping bag, not a sponsor. I know that a lot of people will say that there are much better sleeping bags out there, and sure, but I didn't need something that was super lightweight and rated for negative temps. I like how it rolls up, I like the look of it, I like the flannel interior. This is fine for our purposes, and I also like the straps and everything and how it's pretty simple just to stow away. And since we'll be car camping, we don't need anything super fancy, and we're going to be supplementing our warmth with blankets and stuff. So for us, for right now, this is the best bang for our buck, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, we have to get two of these, which we do have two of these for both me and my wife. We will be working on something for the dog because I don't just want her out roaming around in the tent. She would never settle. She would be on duty all of the time. You have to tell her to go to her place, or you have to tell her to calm down, and she does not do that if she is not kind of in a nice safe space. So we're going to be working on a area where she can be so she doesn't just not sleep when we're out in the outdoors. Although since we're outdoors, maybe she will just be extra tired because she's being stimulated all of the time like a kid. Who knows? We've only ever done an overnight camping trip with her once, and we were in a cabin. And that went okay. I'm not really sure if she ever slept, so that should be interesting. As of this recording, we do have a couple of places in mind that we think we want to check out for our first trip. We're also trying to figure out when exactly we want to go, because it will take us a minute to obviously collect all of the different pieces of gear that we need. And I realized that I haven't really showed our list yet, so maybe not in this video, but definitely in a coming up video, I'll, put it on the screen, and then people can take a look at like what we're trying to collect. I know people will have lots of opinions, but you should know that I do a lot of research, and I'm always trying to figure out what is the best bang for a buck and what are the things that I'm willing to drop some solid money on for comfort. Because as I said in the first video, we're willing to spend some more on like better quality gear. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
What is it?